With that, we bring in Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator. Lee, David Marcus called it the single most expensive lie in human history. How expensive was this?
Yeah, over the course of decades, we've been told everything from the most pessimistic possible prediction to the absolutely impossible. And when you get to 2026, a lot of Americans are thinking about all of those pessimistic predictions of the past and realizing that the sea level hasn't risen as much as you guaranteed it would. The temperature of the Earth hasn't risen as much as you would. And when you're still 4.5 years away from AOC's prediction that the world is about to end in 12 years, people are saying, you know what, I don't have to wait any longer. I know. And they're also getting pretty pissed off, as you pointed out, becoming aware of the grift. The green slush funds, the money that was used to pay off former Biden and Obama officials and Democratic donors, the tens of billions of dollars that, for example, went through EPA through self-dealing and conflicts of interest and reduced agency oversight. People are getting smart on it, and they care about these economic concerns. They want common sense applied, and now they're being heard at the voting booth. And I think the Trump mandate was to put a stop to it, and that's what we're doing at the Trump EPA.
Yeah, unwinding some of these onerous regulations. But amazingly, despite all this money Democrats poured in, climate change remained a 1%, 2% issue. And it just feels like there's no accountability. You know, the beaches are here. The New York Times was wrong. Rush Limbaugh tried his best with the doomsday countdown clock based on Al Gore's prediction that was wrong. But there's no accountability. It's just nothing to see here. Your dollars out the window. What are you seeing?
Well, the good news is that President Trump came in time to be able to stop what in the EPA, from the EPA standpoint, was almost $30 billion worth of grants that didn't go out the door, that Uncle Sam was able to catch in time. Thank God President Trump was elected when he did, and he put the people and the team in place in order to make sure that that money was getting stopped. You just pointed out the regulations, which were trying to strangle out of existence entire sectors of our economy, including our energy economy, our auto economy, suffocating consumer choice, trying to force Americans to buy cars that the government wants to demand instead of the vehicles that people want. So I feel like the accountability came November of 24 when people elected President Trump into office, put Republicans in Congress, and that happens again when the voters go back to the voting booth to make sure that we have that common sense. That's the ultimate accountability, is when the green slush fund gets stopped, the regulations get right-sized, and the people who were in power with their impossible predictions that didn't ban out are now out of power altogether.
You know, David Marcus, one other point that he made is that how would gas prices be? He said this. What would a gallon of gas cost today had we been drilling for oil instead of pretending the emergency meant we all had to switch to EVs? Where do you think we would be?
Yeah, if we were unleashing energy dominance through 4 years of the Biden administration, if we were building pipelines rather than killing them, instead of putting plants out of existence, instead they were being supportive, we would have more reliable, durable baseload power in this country. We would have more oil and gas supplies. We would not just have more for Americans, but we would be able to be in a position to export more, which is good for our economy and our national security. And I would say, oh, by the way, better for our environment, because we tap into these resources so much better than so many other countries do elsewhere around the world. Oh, and by the way, critical minerals, rare earth from extraction through processing, batteries, chips, magnets, semiconductors. The list is long of all the benefits.
Absolutely. Lee Zeldin, thank you as always.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.